Hello everyone, and welcome to Writing Survival Tools, where I'll be sharing with you some easy tips and tricks for just optimizing your writing experience in Word and Google Docs. So if you want to follow along with me, please feel free to download these documents. You can find them at svsu.edu/writingcenter/writingresources. You can download both the Writing Survival Tools and the Writing Survival Tools Workspace. The Writing Survival Tools document is the document that I will be going through on the screen, so you don't technically need to download that, but if you want it for future reference, please feel free. The Writing Survival Tools Workspace is what you'll be using as you follow along. So this is the Writing Survival Tools Workspace. As you can see, it looks very big and long. It's just supposed to represent a paper that you might be writing. So you have all of the written stuff up here, and then you also have your works cited page down here. Now this is the Writing Survival Tools presentation. This is what I'll be going through. Today we will cover some of the capabilities of Windows 10 and Word to support writing, and just some digital and mental writing practices to make writing easier. So these are some basic keyboard shortcuts. I'm going to run through them all. Feel free to pause and play around with them in your Writing Survival Tools workspace. So Control-C/Control-V, that's just copy and paste, pretty basic. Control-Z/Y, that's undo and redo. Control-Z is undo. Control-Y is redo. It's really helpful if you delete a document or a sentence or a document and you want to undo that real quick. Control-A is select all. And we'll just quickly select everything that you're looking at. And obviously this can be used in Word documents, PDFs, optimized PDFs, and pages online. Control-F is very useful. So Control-F allows you to find anything, a specific keyword or heading in your document just by searching for it. So you press Control-F, it'll pull up this navigation page over here, and you can type any word, say keyboard. And it will find the word keyboard everywhere in your document and pull it up here in your results page. The Windows key plus V is your copy history. So let's say you're working on your citations and you're just copying and pasting a lot of different stuff from your source that you need to put in your reference page. So if you don't want to go all the way back to your screen, you can hold down your Windows key and then press V, and that will bring up your copy history. It might differ depending on what computer you're using, but it can, for me at least, save both text and images. Snap your window to different points in your page. Make sure you're on the window that you want to move around. Hold down the Windows key and then move the arrow around, and it will move your document wherever you put it. The last one is Shift plus F3. This allows you to cycle through to case options. Highlight the text that you want to cycle through. So for some keyboards, especially if you're using a laptop, you might need to lock your F commands at the top of your keyboard. All you need to do that is hold down your FN key at the bottom of your page and then press Escape. Once you've done that, hold down Shift and then press F3. And it allows you to cycle through uppercase and lowercase depending on what you need. Like for example, while you're citing APA in your references, everything in your title except the very first letter needs to be lowercase. Next is the blue light filter to reduce eye strain. You'll find this in your settings, which you can quickly pull up by pressing Windows key I. Go to Display, and then you can adjust the night light. The night light just puts your computer in warmer colors, which reduces the blue light and helps reduce eye strain. It's really helpful to just reduce headaches and reduce the damage on your eyes. We also have some options for Mac in here. You can go to System Preferences, Displays, and then their night light is called Night Shift. And you can activate between sunset and sunrise. And for both, you can set it to go off at specific hours. So this is the auto hanging indent. This is very useful for when you're in your references page and you need an indent for every single one of your references without manually doing it. So as you can see, this is just a hanging indent right here. It's where all of the lines after the first line of your source are indented. So instead of pressing enter, you can scroll down to the bottom of your workspace page, and you can highlight the references. You can go to Paragraph, a little paragraph menu. You'll go to Special under Indentation. Click this drop-down menu and click Hanging, and then press OK. So this will create a hanging indent. Very easy, a lot easier than doing it manually. This is the auto-alphabetize. This will also be very useful for when you're working with your sources. So all you have to do is highlight all of your references. Click on the little AZ with the arrow button over here. Make sure it's on ascending and then press OK. And this will auto-alphabetize all of your sources. The next one is show editing marks for proofreading/formatting. So all you have to do for this is click this little backwards P right here. And it will show marks for all of the different editing marks like paragraph, spaces, or tabs. This is really useful for when you just want to quickly look at your document and fix any mistakes that you might find, or just look at it in a different light, different way. For example, if you turn it off, this space right here looks the same as this space right here. When you turn it on, you can tell these are actually just a bunch of spaces, and this is a tab. This next one is programming headings to organize your work. This is very useful. The headings in Word don't align with any of the headings that are for like APA or MLA, but you can easily edit them. So all you're gonna have to do is highlight the heading, the text that you wanna make a heading, go to Styles, and press Heading 1. This will turn Heading 1 into a heading, obviously, and anything that is below Heading 1 until the next heading will get diminished when you click that little arrow next to it. So it can really help you organize your work and also help you in making strawman documents. So strawman document is just organizing all of your work to have headings so you can easily cycle through and look through all of the stuff in your Word document. So you can find the navigation page by clicking Pages down here and then going to Headings. So let's say that you are working in your sources and you found something else on the Great Depression and you need to add it. So let's say you're way up here and you found something else for the Great Depression and you want to add it to that paragraph. You can go to your navigation page right here, scroll down, find your Great Depression heading, click it, and it will take you right to that paragraph so you can edit the information right there. This can work for anything. It can work for outlines. It can work for actual papers. If you want to make your headings in APA formatting, just click on the styles again, right click on the heading that you want to edit, and click modify. This way you can edit it as the APA formatting recommends, which is Times New Roman, 12-point font, black text. You can find all of that on our webpage for writing resources. You can also find it at Purdue OWL. It's a really good source. So next is Google Scholar's Cite feature. So this is really useful for when you want to quickly put cite sources in your pages without manually doing it. You can go to Google Scholars. So we'll do Denver homelessness. So let's say I want to use this article. I can just go down here, click this button, and it will give me all of the different citing options. So I'm citing my paper in APA, so I would copy this citation and put it in my document. These are not always 100% reliable. I would definitely double check everything before you finally hit submit, but it can just make it a lot easier, especially if you're halfway through your document, halfway through your resources, and you realize that this whole time you should have been citing an APA instead of MLA. You can just quickly go back and find all of those sources real quick. So this is some of the optimizing features of Google Docs, or like another live version of Word, crafting citations in multiple windows. So if you go down to your Google Drive, you can duplicate this page, scroll down to the bottom of the page to find your resources, and then move it side by side. So let's say I want to cite this paragraph right here with the first source on this list. I can quickly look. I can go in there and I can just type it in. Really easy. Scroll down. I want to cite this with the next one. And just do the same thing over and over and over again. This next one is tracking draft changes for group projects. This is honestly useful for group projects, for your personal documents, for tracking changes between your draft and your final draft. All you have to do is click the Review tab, click Tracking, and click Track Changes. So then when you go through and you start adding text, it will show that it is something that you added. If I delete something, it will have a little crossed out line to show that I deleted it. You can also change between what is shown. So if you don't like all of the text up here, you can go to track changes and just do simple markup. And that won't show the changes in the actual document, but it will track them over here. So you can keep track of what has been changed. And if you see that something has been changed, you can go back in here, click all markup, and see what's been changed. So this is another useful tool for editing, especially between your draft and your final. This allows you to compare two documents. This does require you to have a separate draft document and a separate final document. You can go to the review tab, go to compare, and you can compare two different documents. So this would be your original document, your draft, and this would be your revised document. So I'll just pull up. They're going to be two different papers, but it'll just show you what it looks like. And there you go. It will scroll with you between your different documents and just kind of show you what is different between the two. So you can see what you changed, if there's something else that you liked better in your draft. The final one is using your calendar and plan. It's recommended by psychologists that you use a physical calendar to just keep track of your writing goals and your due dates and just to stay on track. Physically crossing out the calendar can sometimes feel a lot better than just moving through the calendar on your digital resources. Have a plan. It's important to have a plan. With every new document that you get, set some writing goals. Outline every section as much as you can. Jot down ideas and phrases as placeholders in the document. You don't have to have a perfect draft. You can add and edit and throw in as many ideas as you want. All that's important is that when you go in and you write your final draft, you just polish all of that up. But in the meantime, you can have as many ideas scattered everywhere as you can. You can write any way you want. It's just important to set up these plans to help keep all of that organized so you don't get off track and you don't miss your deadlines. And that is the end of the Writing Survival Tools presentation. Please feel free to download these documents and go through them and play around with them. And I really hope that you use some of these tools in your own writing just from your day-to-day. Thank you. Bye.